Hey guys, it's me, Mr.73, and welcome back to Umineko. Before we get started, I'm going to be releasing a video. Well, it probably should have come out by now, but if you haven't seen it, it's just due to the high amounts of comments and spoilers on comments, and just what I want to do about them. I haven't actually made the video yet, but at the time that this comes out, the video should be out by then. And the too long didn't read version is going to be, please keep any spoilers and anything kind of sort of related to spoilers. If you think this might be misconstrued as a spoiler, even if it isn't, I would just kind of hold off on doing it, honestly, because it's not really helping anyone. I can't tell if it's a spoiler because I haven't played the game, obviously. And I don't really want to know if it's a spoiler because I haven't played the game, honestly. But other people might get annoyed by it, even if it isn't a spoiler. And it's kind of best if we just don't do it at all. Feel free to look at the video if you want more information. I'm not going to talk anymore about it here. Anyway, let's continue with everybody, since Battler had sort of won the battle against Beatrice. Though she seems to have a sort of mark my words, you're going to rue this day thing. But on to Rosa and the rest, returning from the chapel to the parlor in the mansion. So many things had happened since early in the morning. Of course, they were high-strung. Battler and George, who had cried, raged, and let their emotions explode after seeing their parents' tragic bodies and fixing the text window, returned to the parlor and sat in the sofas, dazed as though everything up until then had been a lie. Only Maria was completely unchanged because she's a creepy little girl and looked just like normal. She had a Halloween party. When she wasn't playing pranks, she was basically a kid who played wordlessly by herself. So even if she was dazed, she would probably look as she did. But as she turned on the TV and flipped through the channels, it looked as though nothing about her had changed from normal. Did Rosa think anything in particular about this attitude, which was clearly different from normal people? She stared at Maria's back with a gaze that wasn't quite pleasant. Eventually, Kumasawa came to say good morning. Her cheerful manner was clearly out of place, and she couldn't help but be bewildered at the strange atmosphere in the room. Then, she heard the details from Goda, and was really noisy and shocked. It's okay, Kumasawa. It's okay. There's really nothing you can do.
落ち着いて聞いてください。どうも昨夜の落雷で何かの機械がやられたようなのです。それで電話が使えなくなっておりまして。
じゃあ台風が過ぎるまで警察にも連絡できないんですか?
Maybe Kumasawa's exaggerated surprise was a little comical. Even in this kind of situation, Rosa giggled. Because of that, the fog of confusion that had covered her head had cleared up a little.
私がしっかりしなきゃ。マリアだけじゃない。ジョージ君もバタラ君も。今は私が親代わりなんだから。しっかりしなきゃいけない。
Rosa had been the youngest sibling, with a large difference in age between her and the others. So she was always treated as a child. Every time she learned something new, it was something obvious to her brothers and sisters. And she had grown a complex, thinking that she must be incompetent. So she had formed a passive attitude, asking her brothers and sister for advice every time something happened. But she no longer had any brothers or sisters. You do, they're just dead. Now Rosa was the only one of the 4 Ushiramiya siblings left. Furthermore, if Kinzo continued to shut himself away even in this extraordinary situation, Rosa had to surpass this crisis as the representative of the head. I'm assuming that they've attempted to contact him and he's not come out. Rosa slapped her knees lightly and stood up. She must not wait for orders now. She had to start moving herself. She picked up the receiver to the extension phone on the side table. Then, she immediately remembered that the phones were down. Whoops. Genji and Shannon, who she had sent to Kenzo, hadn't returned yet. She had a general guess. He was probably yelling about something nonsensical again, unable to control himself. His important chapel had been defiled with blood, and candy. That was easy to imagine. She had planned on using the extension phone to call the study, but unfortunately, the phones were broken. Rose had decided to go to the study directly, with her own 2 feet. Her old self would be so frightened that she wouldn't have been able to go see Kenzo. If she had actually met him, she would probably be blamed for something and abused. But now wasn't a time to be frightened. As his true daughter, she had to make him aware of the current situation.
熊沢さん、私はお父様のところへ行ってきます。特にジョージ君とバタラ君の2人をお願いします。
In case I don't come back.
きっとだいぶ神経が参ってると思うの。
ええ、それはそうでございましょうとも。何か温かい飲み物でも作ってあげることにいたします。
ありがとう。
Rosa went out into the hallway and headed towards Kenzo's study. The atmosphere in this mansion, which she had spent her younger days in and should have been full of memories, seemed somehow different. Then, she began to climb the stairs in the entrance hall. Just then, in the thin darkness down the stairs behind Rosa's back, something glowed. Ooh, spooky butterflies! Woo! It was a single fluttering gold butterfly. It fluttered around and sparkled. That butterfly quietly danced without a sound. Obviously, no one can hear the sound of a butterfly's wings beating. And then, it stopped on Rosa's back as she slowly climbed the stairs. Rosa didn't notice. And even if someone who didn't know saw it, they probably wouldn't have seen anything but a single sheet of gold leaf in the shape of a butterfly, which had been stuck there. Without noticing, Rosa continued heading to Kenzo's study. Ooh, and she missed the spooky surprise secret! An evil laugh.
さーて、次はどう遊ばせてもらおうか。まだまだ駒はいくらでもある。
Well, you just materialized there to make like a short little speech and cackle? You couldn't have done that without materializing? Come on, Beatrice. In the parlor, which had returned to silence, the only sound was that of the TV, which Maria was watching alone. If there was anything audible other than that, it was the sound of the rain which had continued on and on since last night. Every one of those who had viewed that unearthly and horrible scene stayed silent, as though praying that the events of this morning were all a dream. Because Kumasawa alone hadn't seen that, she acted slightly differently. She thought that this silence was more difficult to bear, and went around trying to encourage everyone. Your parents are dead, but I mean, at least you won't have to go in time out anymore. However, it seemed that she was planning to be of some use, even though she had to be careful of what she talked to them about. Have they seen Kannon and Jessica yet? I feel like they haven't, considering that they aren't freaking out more. And maybe they're just guessing they're just chilling out somewhere? Normally it would be time for breakfast. However, maybe it was because of something like that, but Goda seemed to have forgotten to prepare a meal. The worst of servants. No, maybe everyone was so beaten up that they had forgotten their hunger. Kumasawa wanted to bring up the subject of what they would do for breakfast, but it didn't seem like the right atmosphere, so she really couldn't. But it was difficult being hungry. So, she casually made a proposal.
皆さんもいろいろあってお疲れでしょ。こういう時は温かい紅茶で体を温めるのが一番ですよ。
それはいい提案ですな。
私も賛成です。
I think we left the black tea in Jessica's room.
美味しい紅茶にジャムを塗ったビスケットなどいかがですか？そうそう、ハロウィンの時期が近いみたいで、
Oh no.
かぼちゃ型の美味しそうなクッキーが
Oh, that
棚
was a
にあり
bad
ま
one,
した。
Kumasawa.
あ、熊沢さん、それは。
Would you guys like some candy too? We got loads of it. We just found it everywhere. Of course, she had said the wrong thing. Because she had reminded Battler and the rest about that horrible and tragic Halloween party in the chapel. Nanjo hurriedly whispered into Kumasawa's ear.
バトラさん、本当にすみません。
Would you like a cookie to make you feel
悪
better?
気はなかったんですよ。
A Halloween shaped one?
いや、気にしてねえぜ。この煮えくり返るような怒りは。絶対犯人にお返ししてやるぜ。
その犯人はまだこの島にいるのかな？
いるだろうな。何しろ台風が過ぎるまで船は来ないんだ。
ええ、そうですとも。船はちょっとの風でも欠航しますからね。ましてや台風では絶対に船になんか乗れませんよ。ええ。
気持ち悪いな。
兄貴もそう思うのか？俺もだぜ。犯人が例の謎の来客かどうかは捨ておいてもだ。
Even if you were able to call the police, would they be able to come in a situation like this? I don't know. I feel like you probably just would not be able to.
私たちはついついベアトリーチェを名乗る謎の来客を怪しがってしまいますが、まだ犯人と決まったわけではありません。彼女がまだ死体の出ていない犠牲者である可能性も残っている。
それを考えるとどうしても理解できないことがあるんだ。
それはどういうことでしょうか？
簡単さ。さっき熊沢のばあちゃんの言った通りだよ。この島は今台風の真っ只中で脱出不能だ。それは犯人だって同じさ。なら犯人にとって犯行発覚は可能なら最も避けたいことのはずだ。
そうですね。礼拝堂の入り口にあんな不気味な魔法陣を書いて、ここに死体がありますなどとアピールする必要はありませんね。
そうさ、そういうことなんだ。さらに言えば、あの6人にあんなむごたらしいことをするだけの手間をかけられたなら、6人の死体を発見不能な場所に隠すことだって可能だったはず。
同感だね。あの残酷なハロウィンパーティーは多分死んだ人たちに向けられたものじゃない。やがて発見する僕たちへ向けたものなんだよ。魔法陣はそのためのアピールだと言い切れるだろうね。
犯人はこの島からしばらく逃げられないことを知っている。にもかかわらず台風の真っ最中に死体を見つけさせたいような真似をした。こりゃどういうことなんだ。俺が犯人だったなら死体を見つけさせるような真似は絶対にしないんだが。
ベアトリーチェ様はお部屋におられませんでした。特に部屋が荒らされていた様子もありませんし。ああ、いえ。
But yeah, I was about to say, other than the fact that there's broken light bulb pieces everywhere. Oh, are we gonna be like, oh, what about her? Yeah, oh. I was wondering what was gonna bring that topic up.
カノンさんが様子を見てくれたん
Oh
で
yeah,
す。
she's fine.
多分、お嬢様のお部屋におられるでしょう。
No one's gonna be slightly disturbed by the fact that
よく
they're
ないね。
by themselves.
犯人は間違いなくまだこの島にいる。
Uh-oh.
今の状況下で少人数で孤立することはそれほどいいことだとは思わない。
Uh-oh. These bad things are gonna happen.
それ、まさか、犯人は私たち全員を殺すつもりだとおっしゃるんですか？
落ち着きましょう。まだそうと決まったわけではありません。
ところが悔しいことに その可能性も否定できねえんだよな。この手紙が礼拝堂にあった。これによるならば犯人は魔女様で、じい様の碑文の謎を解いて黄金を見つけなきゃ一族老頭を皆殺しにするみてえなことを言っている。
それは本当ですか？私にも読ませていただ
No,
いて
you're
よ
not
ろ
allowed
しい
to
で
read
す
it.
か？
It's my letter. Gosh, no, now you set Kumasawa off again. As they read the witch's letter, Goda, Kumasawa, and Nanja's faces grew even paler than they had been. Kumasawa could no longer hide her shaking.
死にたくなかったらじい様の隠し黄金を見つけてみろか。ふざけやがって。てめえじゃ解けない謎だから俺たちに解かせようって腹に決まってるぜ。
しかし実際のところはどうなんでしょう。奥様は常々黄金伝説は親方様が作られた幻想に過ぎないと
That's what
言い
she
切られ
wanted
ており
you
ま
to
した。
think.
本当に実在するものなのかは怪しいところですよ。
そうですな。あったらいいなとは思いつつ半信半疑だったはずです。親族の皆さんが黄金伝説を信じ始めたのは金蔵さんが健康を崩して遺産問題が浮上してからです。それまでは信じている人はほとんどいなかったと思います。
そうか、それでかな。
We did see a couple of gold bars in there, didn't we?
礼拝堂のテーブルの上、黄金のインゴットが3つあったね。あれだけでも相当の価値があるよ。あれはまさに黄金伝説は実在することを証明してるんじゃないかな。
お待ちください。今黄金が3つとおっしゃいましたか？
ああ、確かに3つが積み上げてあったぜ。それが何だってんだ？
私旦那様がお話になっているのを聞いたことがあるんです。ええ、聞いただけでございますよ。
Don't hold back. I want to hear it.
別にこっそりお話に聞き耳を立てていたわけではございません。
Don't have your moral dilemmas. Just tell us what you heard. He's dead now. He doesn't care.
今は気にしないぜ。それで何だってんだ？あの金塊が3つじゃ何かまずいってのか？
ええ、旦那様がおっしゃるには黄金伝説を裏付ける黄金は一つしか見つかっていないのだそうです。
そうでしたな。確か金蔵さんがマルソンの会長さんに黄金の山を見せてその一本を持ち帰らせたというような話だったはずです。
その一つをですね、旦那様はお持ちになられていたのです。そしてこうもおっしゃっておりました。親方様の黄金伝説を裏付ける黄金はこれ一つしかないとも。
Yeah, that was said. Are you trying to imply that there shouldn't be 3 here? Which means that these other ones couldn't have been gotten by us? Or couldn't have been gotten by Cross anyway?
旦那様ってクラウスおじさんの話だよな。ってことはなんだ？じゃなくて3つ？おいおい、どこから出てきたんだよ。多すぎるぜ。
こうは考えられませんか？他の親族の方もそれぞれ見つけておられてそれを一つずつ持ち寄られたとか。
And then, sat down at the table and cut their stomachs open and put candy in?
いや、私はそうは思いません。親族の皆さんがお屋敷に来られた時、私は皆さんのお荷物を預からせてもらっています。
And you probably would have noticed a large gold bar of that weight.
不審な
Yeah.
重さは感じませんでした。
Gold is particularly heavy.
あれは10キロくらいはあったと思う。そんな重さが荷物に入っていたら僕だって気づくよ。でもそんな雰囲気はなかった。
うちも同じだぜ。せいぜい着替えと常備薬 キリエさんの化粧道具。そんなもんだったと思う。ローザお
Maybe
ば
the
さんの荷
hobo
物
in the
も
woods
軽
was
そうに
carrying
見えた
around
ぜ。
2 extra gold bars.
黄金伝説は間違いなく存在する。幻想なんかじゃない。それを暴いてみろと。
それの隠し場所を示したあの碑文を私たちに解かせて横取りしようという魂胆でしょうか。
確かに。それ、しかし、腑に落ちない点もいくつかあるぜ。なぜ、碑文を一番解けそうな人物である親たちが、真っ先に殺されてる。これはいきなり矛盾があるように思う。そしてここが、もっと腑に落ちない。黄金伝説は実在するって言って、どうして黄金が積めるんだ。まるで犯人はもう自分だけは黄金を見つけていて、お前らも見つけてみろって言ってるみたいに見えるじゃないか。
犯人もクラウスおじさんのようにその3本を手に入れ黄金伝説を確信し、残りを僕らに探させようとしていると考えるのが一番しっくりくるね。
チェス盤に駒がちっとも並ばねえ。犯人が何を企んでいて、何をしたいのか、何をさせたいのかがさっぱりだ。無駄なのか。何を考えても今の時点では。
書いてあるよ。何をさせたいかは。みんなは文字読めないのかな。
Maria suddenly laughed in a creepy voice. I thought she'd been concentrating on the TV, but she was also listening in, apparently. As she remained facing the TV, she very simply told us what we were forgetting.
ベアトリーチェは黄金が欲しいなんて一言も言ってないよ。ベアトリーチェは碑文の謎をみんなが解けるか解けないか、それしか聞いてないんだよ。どうせ無理だろうって思ってるに違いないけどね。
マリアにはそれが解けるってのか。
知らない。だってマリアは黄金鏡へ連れてってもらうんだもん。ベアトリーチェの邪魔なんかしないよ。あ、痛い。
どうやらこれ以上を知るにはマリアに話を聞くほかないようだな。マリア、聞かせてもらうぜ。ベアトリーチェってのは何者だ。何を企んでるんだ。
I'm glad you asked.
ベアトリーチェはね、魔女なの。不思議な力で何でもできる。魔法の力で何でもできる。黄金も生み出せるし、パンも生み出せる。もちろんお菓子だって生み出せるよ。見たでしょ。
I thought Maria was about to get slapped by her mom. I guess her mom's not in the room. At that time, everyone jumped at the sound of a door being closed forcefully. We turned around. Rosa had suddenly returned, bringing Genji and Shannon. And this seems like a good spot if we're going to stop here. I'm really hoping they get to Jessica soon. I kind of want them to start freaking out again. That was fun. Anyway, if you haven't seen that other video, feel free to take a look at it regarding spoilers and comments. And I will see you guys next time for some more Umineko. Bye!